We start in Ethiopia, where more than a dozen people have been killed and hundreds have fled their homes following ethnic clashes on the outskirts of the capital, Addis Ababa. The worst affected areas are Burayu and Oromia. Local media are reporting that the attacks are highly organized, targeting ethnic Gamos, Wolayitas, Guraghes and Siltes. The death toll isn't clear, but some reports say 15 bodies have been recovered so far. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has condemned the violence as cowardly. The government says it's providing the necessary support to affected communities. Up to 70 suspects have reportedly been arrested. And for more on this, we're joined by Dr. Hassan Hanenje, an international relations expert here in our studios. So we've seen a lot of reforms since Dr. Abiy Ahmed came into power, and then these clashes. What should we read from them?
Yeah, there is a theory in international relations, international conflict, that says authoritarian leaders tend to use external enmity to foster internal amity. Now, sadly, that has been the situation that's characterized the politics in Ethiopia for the better part of the last 20 years. However, what we see now is the consequence of the opening of the political space, because it tends to embolden certain elements, but it also creates new fissures within a polity, within a system. And what we're seeing is a consequence of especially the sudden and dramatic opening of political space, including the release of political prisoners. This weekend we saw Dawood Ibsa, the leader from Liberation Front, come back to Ethiopia. It's likely to cause a lot of fissures within the system, because now, in the absence of an external enemy, as it has been previously, internally, different parties start competing for that same power and start looking at each other much more differently than they were looking at each other before.
So how much of a threat does this pose to Dr. Ahmed's government?
I think the extent to which this is going to be a threat is going to be dependent upon how Dr. Ahmed is going to respond to this. I think he has to be firm but also measured at the same time, because if he goes beyond the normal law enforcement, what it's likely to do is going to alienate a whole lot of people and take away the goodwill that he has among the Ethiopians.
Right, and he's talking about taking action. There's certainly a lot of encouragement for him to do so online, but what kind of action are we talking about?
Generally, leaders, we should not always make policies based on what social media says. However, there is a point in especially lots of citizens feeling they're losing their country, and therefore he has to be a little bit more firm, very decisive, but at the same time not in a very violent and oppressive way that is going to take away the political goodwill he has among the Ethiopians and, frankly, around the region and the world at large.
Is it a little bit too late?
No, it's not. It's a part of the teething problems, especially with democratization. So we expect this, and we expect a few more incidents to come, but I think given the trajectory at which Ethiopia is moving, Dr. Abiy is likely to succeed.
All right, Dr. Hanenje, we appreciate your insights. Thank you very much. Dr. Hassan Hanenje, in studio with us.